Yes. What is it, Wednesday? I believe it's Wednesday. I know it's a great day. There's a sign. That's a sign that you are living a good life. When you actually don't know the day of the week, that is a sign of a great life. And I live a great life. I always say I live a great life because I do. I speak it into existence, and I'm enjoying this side of life, my slice of the earth. And this is why I show up every day to speak, to encourage, to gather the hopefuls, and to really create the life that I want. Because that's what it's about. To me, to create the life you want is to show up as if it is. So I move in the sense of I'm already living the life that I envision. I show up as it. I show up as the speaker. I show up every day in this space. When I wake up, I know today's going to be a great day. And I set that intention that it's a fantastic day. Thank you for the likes. I don't wake up thinking this is a terrible day. Now, if I did, I know how to shift that, because I would immediately go into gratitude. It may be a bad day. However, I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my friends, for my family. I'm grateful for the ability to feel gratitude. And I had to laugh because I do come on here every day during the weekdays, sometimes on weekends, and we have an uplifting message, a message of hope and positivity and motivation. And for anyone who's new to my lives, I just did my TED Talk, which was a big accomplishment as a professional speaker. You can check out my TED Talk. It's in my link in bio under my TED Talk. And I've been on this path speaking for since 2021. So let's say two and a half, 3 years. And I love it. And it was what I chose to do. And prior to that, I loved what I did then. What's up, Mild? I loved flying when I was a flight attendant. And I loved my 15 years in that career and what that gave me. And really, it was the stepping stone to bring me here. Because those 15 years is what I share about. What's up, DJ Neely Neal? I drop into all of your mixes, and I'm always trying to be the first to name the song. So that is what I do when I jump into your lives. Thank you for sharing the live. Furthermore, because I loved my career as a flight attendant, I chose to, I know, we still have to do that though. We still have to do that sometime after like these next 2 weeks. Can you beat hope? Can you beat hope? Are you faster than hope? Because I'm pretty fast. I have a pretty eclectic taste in music. I listen to everything. Side note, let me jump into that because I have parents where I was raised in church and I have a certain ear for melodies. However, being a child from the 80s, I'm like a pop person. Janet Jackson and Paula Abdul and Whitney Houston and Britney Spears. I've been to Britney Spears concerts. Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. I was huge into pop. However, also being in the 80s rock, yacht rock, DJ Neil was speaking about that. What's up, Blessed Tone? I have it on my TikTok where I went to the Doobie Brothers concert. In fact, I snuck in. I didn't sneak in, I walked in. But I love Michael McDonald. I remember my mom listening to these people, and then my father loved jazz. So a lot of blue note artists, as well as then hip hop and R&B. I'm huge into both West Coast, but my favorite MC is Jay. And I've spoken on my lives about a few of my moments with Jay. What's up, retired Leo Lawrence? Because I have 4 notable, very funny stories about my interactions with Jay-Z throughout the world. Because every time we crossed paths, we were in different countries. But because of that, and there was a time when I wanted to go into music. I still like writing choruses because loving pop music, it's all about a catchy chorus. And I would challenge myself to write a chorus very quickly, a catchy chorus. And with that, I just expanded my music tastes and living abroad, especially living in London, garage music. Then who I lived with introduced me to kazamba and zouk and music from different African countries and throughout Europe and Asia and India. So my music taste is quite eclectic. And that's something that may be a surprise. However, it's no surprise because I'm just great. And I said this in my live yesterday, I always saw myself as this Renaissance woman because I like to know a lot of a little of everything. So if I'm at some gala in the south of France, there's something that I can know to start a conversation there. If I'm at some event in New York or LA or wherever I'm at, I can always just maneuver. And that comes from really reading. I'm an avid reader. My time on the plane, I would read. I would challenge myself to read the New York Times, Financial Times, and Wall Street Journal every time it was on the plane. I'm also into finance because my dad was in finance. So reading all of those things, what's up, holistically hilarious, I was able to ingest a lot of different types of information. And also just listening to people's conversations. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, it's another PMW representative, holistically hilarious. I speak about you often in my lives. So I know some of my hopefuls have drifted over to your side of TikTok. And since you were on my live last time, there's much interest in what you do. And I appreciate what you do because I love to laugh, and combining that with the healing element of yoga is one of life's joys. So initially, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's a laugh for you too. So the message today, motivation to move on. Because, yes, laugh us stay, that's right. The move on is like a double entendre, meaning motivation to move on, like to go towards something, and motivation to move on, to move past. That's the old me. That ain't me. You talking to someone that I'm expired from that. That's no longer me. And I'm reminded of this because I don't know if anyone has seen this in the live, but Rick Ross had posted something about searching for a flight attendant for his jet. And he said what he wanted, which is what the duties of a flight attendant does anyway. But I woke up to several people sending me this, like, Hope, check this out. Hope, this is you. Hope, you would be great at this. Hope, I had some people forward it to me on TikTok. I had a sister who said, somebody from our hometown wants me to send you this. And I'm like, yeah, okay, thank you. However, I haven't flown since 2020. So you're asking me to revisit something that I actually haven't done professionally in 3 years. And what does that mean? And when I entitled this motivation to move on, there's 3 things that sprang into my mind. Because I move like a stealth. I just am working towards something and then things just start happening. TED, even before I announced my TED Talk to my TikTok audience, I was aware of my TED for almost 2 years because it was supposed to happen last October. So I had been aware that I was a TED speaker for over a year, closer to 2 years. But I don't speak about it until it's complete or right before it happens. That is something within myself that is something that I honor because my workings are protected. Even in the speaking journey, for me to throw out the TED, I almost wanted to leave it to last minute. So individuals in my family were unaware that I was going to be a TED speaker. They just knew that I'm speaking and that I'd been speaking online, and I've done engagements actually all over the world online. But it wasn't something tangible that people could see. And I remember being with a family member, and she was introducing me to a friend of hers, and she said, yeah, my sister used to be a flight attendant. And I said, thank you for that. However, I'm not. So when you introduce me as a speaker, because that's what I am. She said, okay. Because oftentimes, individuals we're around, they have past versions of who we are, and they're using that as our current version. So when I was sent all of these things about Rick Ross needing a flight attendant, it's great. Whoever is chosen for that role is, thank you, Gold 817, is going to be great at it, but it ain't me. And I wanted to say, in fact, I did say, I retired from flying 3 years ago. That is like asking someone in 6th grade, hey, you know what? There's an extra seat in that 3rd grade class. You'd be great at it. Well, I'm already past that. That is actually no longer me. And what does that mean when we are in a different place, but everyone outside of us sees us in a different role? I would offer that this more than often is how individuals see us. Now, it may be a little bit different because I have TED and other things that are about to come to pass. However, when people meet you, they often grab onto a few characteristics that define you. And I would also offer not to be offended if someone sees you in a former role of yourself, because we often do that. I know I'm guilty of that. Of seeing friends and talking to them and saying, hey, how's so and so? And they would say, girl, I haven't talked to that person in like 5 years. But I'm unaware because I'm not communicating with you daily. We are not in the same circle. So all I know is that past version. So for me to be updated of your current version is for me to first ask more questions and just be aware. I didn't take it offensively because I am self-proclaimed the best flight attendant in the world. I am. Nothing gets to me. Um, After 15 years, I really think I reached mastery in so many ways. Yes, exactly, Gold 817. I completely understand. You're trying to pair me with someone that I haven't even talked to. I don't even know if the person's still alive. So I completely understand what you're speaking about, Gold 817. And we often do it as well. Thank you, Rebel Demer, for the follow. And it was several people that sent me this. And I thought, okay, maybe, because this is only within my mind. I don't have any knowing if this is true. However, maybe the belief is, thank you, Blessed Tone, that I miss that. Thank you, first name 4085, for the follow. I miss that time. I miss that life. I don't. I don't. I fully lived every day in that role of the flight attendant for 15 years, 6 bases, tens of several countries, and everything I've done, it always will live within me, but I never regret the choice to do something else. In fact, because I loved it, that's why I said, because I love you, I can walk away from you. I can walk away from this career and from what it taught me and how I grew through this. But this is no longer me. And matter of fact, when I travel now, when I went to Germany, here's the other thing, Rebel Demer. Assumptions are always wrong. What's up, York? Nice to read you, not see you, because I'm not seeing you. Assumptions are always wrong. Whatever you assume, it's always going to be wrong because it's coming from your perspective from the moment you were born to that moment. It has no truth. It has truth to you, but it has no truth to anyone else. And that's why questions can be so powerful. Just asking, hey, do you miss that? Do you want to go back? Would you revisit? No, no, and no. This reminds me of when I was traveling to Germany to give my TED Talk. And as I was speaking to the flight attendants, I had said this is a full circle moment because I was a flight attendant and my TED Talk is based off of flying. And so it's a full circle moment. And the woman said, do you regret leaving? Which really to me is the other person expressing what they feel if they took that action. And to regret, I should have wrote down the thank you, Rebel, for the flower, the definition. However, to regret is to not feel like the choice you made is the best choice for you. 15 years prior, I was in one career. 15. I was consciously aware that I wanted to step away. Knowing that, because I had been so successful within myself in this career, that the next dream, the next thing that I build, the next chapter will be far greater than what I'm walking away from. And thank you, Dale Jeswin, for the follow. And it's never going to leave me. Whenever we step away from something, it would, even if it's a relationship, that moment is always with us. Those memories are there. The things that we learned or we didn't learn are there. So it's not of, this is a void. No, it's a huge space in my life. I still have people that reach out and say, hey, how are you doing? I remember the time that we flew to X, Y, and Z. It's always there. But to have the courage to step away, to step into something new, was the goal. You see, I never fear. First of all, every step that I take is filled with courage, meaning I'm always making the steps in the right direction for me. For me. And I know I'll figure it out. That lack of courage, that sense of regret means that I don't think what's in front of me is going to work. I'm not doing anything in that way. Every way that I step out is the way that's for me, that has full belief that it's exactly where I need to be at this time, in this moment, for me. Yes, me. Me, now. Thank you. Wow, have you been visiting my live since then? That was like, what was that, May, June? Something like that? Yeah, when I first cut off my hair. Well, thank you, York. And I'm reminded of this because how often do we take a step in one direction and actually don't feel like that direction will work? When we actually feel like I'm doing this, but I'm not going to be able to be successful at it. Let me remind you that just your thought of you being successful at it is the success. Because as I've shared in my lives before, just the thought that I can be successful means that you will. Because feeling that you're not successful is the same thought of course, feeling that you're not successful. It's the same thought. They both have no factual evidence of being real. But if you just believe that it will work, it will. And I'm okay if someone believes that, thank you, yes I am, believes that my former occupation is still me. That's okay. That's okay. It's quite big. It's a quite big career to just step away from. It's not like just working a retail job. I mean, being in aviation is a dream for many. But I always knew my next dream would overtake the last one. Because I've done it once, I'll do it again. And yes, now I have to introduce you to this current version of me. Now I have to introduce you to the new dream, Or I don't have to. Listen, actually, I don't have to do anything. There's the other thing. I don't have to do anything. I can just be. But I'm speaking about this because I started this live with saying I was a flight attendant for 15 years. I retired and became a professional speaker. And Rick Ross had posted something where he was requesting a flight attendant. And I've had several people send me this Instagram or TikTok about him wanting a flight attendant, not knowing that that's no longer me. I can no longer go to 3 different countries in 7 days. It wears me out. But when I was working as a flight attendant, I didn't think about it because it was just my cadence to life. I was so used to being in the air, being on the airplane, switching time zones that it never really bothered me. Thank you, Soul Star Honey, for the follow. It was never something that was out of step or out of reach. Most people were used to me saying, oh, okay, where are you right now? Are you in London or are you in New York? Because I was living between 2 countries. I've done that before. Where you have mail going to both addresses. I've already done that. That's no longer me. Thank you for the roses, York. But when you step into a new role, you are stepping into the new role. The others that have seen you in the other roles, they don't know that. They don't know that I no longer think in the way that a flight attendant thinks. That was so long ago. That's no longer me. And so I have to introduce you to this version. And how that can create maybe some discomfort. But here are some, what's up, cool Aaron? Here are some ways to allow that transition to just be easy. Number one, I have probably done that to someone else. I'm happy you've joined as well, Aaron. So I have to allow compassion because I might have categorized someone in that same role from a past version of themselves. So number one, compassion. This is never a space of people should know. People are just people. They're just showing up as themselves. And we're constantly shifting and placing ourselves into new situations. So for me to be compassionate is for me to allow someone to show up in their new space and teach me who they are, what they believe in now. And I'm learning this, especially in the spaces of friendship, because I've had friendships for decades, and I have to actually sit back and say, okay, I have to relearn this person. It doesn't matter if we've known each other since we were 12, we've grown since then. So we may have to ask new questions. We may have to allow a space to get to know this version. We may have to allow a space to release the old version. We may actually have to mourn the loss of who we knew. And that oftentimes is for ourselves. I'm reminded of this because flying, people would often say, okay, hey, meet me here, meet me in this country, meet me there. Sure, but now that's no longer me. I don't care just to hop on the plane to meet you for lunch in Paris. And it's just Paris. That's not that great to me. I've lived there. We have to have something a bit more exotic. However, I had to ask myself, wait a minute, this is no longer me. I'm making plans to meet people in other countries, and that's not, now I'm tired. Like, this isn't even my normal way of doing things. But until I actually said, wait a minute, is this even me? And this isn't even me. I'm not going to give you my word and say I'll meet you in some other country when that's no longer my way of doing anything. But it took me asking myself and seeing the shift. It was a beautiful space for me just to sleep in the same bed for like an entire year. Because there were times where I would take months off, 3 months off. One time I took like 7 months off. But to actually sleep in the same bed every night, and this is coming from someone that traveled all the time, it was new. All of this was new. The heavenly anomaly. I'm happy you're here. Yeah, I'm happy you're here. I'm so happy to see you. Or not see you. Let me change that. Happy to read you. Read, because I can read the comment. Let me change that. Checking in to see the current version. My current version of myself, I'm still getting used to being on the ground. Thank you, Rough Rider Buck Nasty. I'm still getting used to being on the ground. And I remember a friend saying, Hope, you're used to being in the skies. Actually, being on Earth is new for you. I said, it is. It really is. Thank you for the follow, Rough Rider Buck Nasty. See? However, that checking in to see, who am I now? What version is this now? What do I no longer do that I used to do? Why don't I do it? I had to ask myself these questions. I loved this whole thing of, I guess, kind of being normal because I was so used to traveling so much that being on the ground and being home was really new. It was really new for me. So I enjoy that space of just being in one space. Now, I do and still travel, and I like doing it on a lesser degree. Once or twice a month is good enough for me, opposed to like 6 times a month. But I had to check in with myself because I'm no longer that version. I'm no longer that version. And same with the people that were around me. Thank you. Well, I am going to change, Harold. Don't tell me what to do. I am going to change. It's a part of life. I love change. However, thank you. Even this, I got this when I was in Nigeria at a friend's wedding. So, that time to check in to see, who am I now? What version is this? Oh, okay, that's no longer me. Thank you, Royal Hughes. Thank you, girl. I sure do. Listen, I show up for life. I show up for life. You will never see me just wearing something because it's comfortable. What are you guys wearing that's not comfortable? I don't get that. What are you wearing? Spikes and chains and barbed wire? Like, clothes are comfortable. However, I show up for life. When you see me, I'm showing up, and that's every day. Working from home, I'm taking a shower, I'm putting on makeup, it doesn't matter, I'm showing up. Well, yeah, but heels just aren't. However, put them on because they're beautiful. There's that thing too. I am for the beauty of it. I am not going to put on shoes that I know are painful and complain the entire night. You knew they were painful. And I can walk miles in heels. You do not have to avoid stairs or grab a car. If I'm wearing heels, I can walk, I can run, I can do hurdles, okay? I am not one to complain about how these are hurting my feet. I knew what it was. You knew what it was, okay? And you still wore them. So be a good sport. Look beautiful, wear the shoes, make it work. And yes, I show up. I'm showing up for life. I have another try at life. Today is a new day. Yeah, I think my perspective is still bird's eye. I know my perspective is still bird's eye because I have a pretty expanded view, but that's something that I don't think I want to level out. I don't want that to level out. And when I was on the plane just a few days ago, I had mentioned how I do. There's something about that energy of being in the sky, being with the clouds, seeing the blues and the different types of clouds. I think that affects me in a certain way, and anyone who's in that field, or anyone who travels to that extent. Because people would get on the plane and say, oh, I travel as much as you. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You never will. Aside from the other people in aviation, there's no one who will ever travel as much as me. Just because there was times where we would do back-to-back trips and all of that. However, I think it does give a different perspective, the heavenly anomaly. And I choose to keep that. I choose to keep that. And that may be why I choose to still be on the plane often, because there's something I gain from that. And I don't even say I'm a dreamer anymore. I just have my thoughts of what this experience is, and I create it. And even with the different version that I'm in now, that has never left. I had just watched a creator who had mentioned that she always wanted a certain type of life, as did I. However, I started off on that path from really seeing my father travel, and I enjoyed all of that, but just that ease of being able to go anywhere and feel accepted everywhere. Let me repeat that. The ease of going anywhere and feeling accepted everywhere. That's like a cheat code to life. There's nowhere that I go where I do not believe that I'm not worthy, wanted, or accepted. I don't carry that with me. That's not a part of me. Everywhere I go, I deserve to be there. Because the opposite will keep you from certain spaces. And maybe those spaces need you in some sort of way. And because of that, yeah, I knew, I really knew that, and I remember saying this, I wanted to relocate it like every 3 to 5 years, not plant roots, go between countries, and have that expanded life. I've always said that I would have homes all over the world, because the world is a beautiful place that there's not one place that I just want to be. There are a few places that I prefer, But during the course of the year, I like to jump around to different places. And knowing that and feeling that, yeah, I got muscles, Dave. Listen, don't I got muscles. And doing what it takes to achieve that. It's always just doing what it takes. The discomfort, the constant bettering your best or feeling uncomfortable because shifts in spaces, that it's just a part of it. And as I spoke of past versions of ourselves and how people see you, why, Armin? Why are you asking me that? Because if you're asking because of you, it's not you. And I've said this in all of my lives. The right gentleman would never ask for acceptance from me. He would know, oh, Hope's gonna like me. He would know. So it's not you, because you're already asking for acceptance. And if it was you, you would know you would be accepted and you would say something wittier. There's a big difference. Anyone who came to me and said, would you date me? No, just because you asked me that, no. If you don't have the confidence, which is all I speak about, to know she's going to love me, it ain't you. So let's speak about that. Let's switch gears. Let's speak about confidence and what that means, because that's really what it means to me. When I speak of walking, traveling, being in every space, knowing you deserve to be there, that's what it means. Not if I have this. No. I'm me. I'm cool. I'm dope. I'm what you need, baby. You see these biceps, you see this jumpsuit, you can't just get this anywhere. I mean, I got this at the market in Nigeria. You see these lipstick, you see these curls, baby, of course you want me next to you. That thought, instead of, I don't know, let me ask. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. And I show up purposely in this way, because this is going to weed out certain individuals. Certain people should just feel uncomfortable with being in my space, because that means they're not even comfortable in their own space. I don't need to, well, crypto tracker, that's for you. If you have to convince yourself, then that's not confidence. That's not confidence. Confidence is knowing. So no, confidence is not convincing yourself before you can convince everyone else. Confidence is knowing yourself, and then others get to know it. Now, there could be steps in between, but true confidence is not, I don't have to convince myself. I'm already in the space of knowing and believing and trusting. That's confidence. That could be used in fake it till you make it. However, I don't ever think there is a making it. I think it's just, you are it. You believe it until you are. I don't know. But I don't think there's a moment where you say, I'm it. And the statement, fake it till you make it, you won't ever know. I've made it. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Turner. Yes, I don't accept less. But, and we've spoken about this briefly, I'm comfortable in my space. I'm never seeking anyone to increase my comfort of my space. Thank you for the follow, mi chalito. I'm cool. I cook for myself. I'll go on a hike. I'll walk the dogs. I'll do my makeup. I'll read a book. I love cleaning. I do things and I enjoy it with myself. Therefore, I'm not seeking someone to help me enjoy life. I enjoy life. Sure, I understand that. I understand that, crypto. Some people suffer from imposter syndrome. The point is to understand that that's a part of it. You're not suffering, you just aren't learning the lesson. If you're saying, let's say that this is you, and this is true for you, you have imposter syndrome, and you never feel satisfied with yourself, there's a lesson in that. The lesson is what you've already said. There's a lesson in that. Yeah, of imposter syndrome, just feeling like you aren't deserving, you shouldn't be there. There's a lesson in that. Because the question can be asked to yourself, why don't I feel like I deserve this? Oh, maybe it's because as a kid, people always told me I can't have it and I'm not worthy of it. And the area I grew up with and no one had it. All of that. Sure. But it's still you telling you that. Thank you for joining, Cool Aaron. So, to cop watchdog, great. To remedy that is to really listen to that inner dialogue. It's the inner dialogue. It often isn't someone saying you don't deserve to be here. In fact, that's probably easier to hear than hearing it within your head of you don't deserve to be here. But confidence isn't convincing yourself. True confidence is just knowing. I don't know. Is it true for you, Crypto Tracker? Is it true for you? Because I would label myself as ambitious. I would not believe that that's possibly, it could be. I'm absolutely fantastic, Slee Music. Possibly, but there's a point where you just accept it and you go. There's a point where you just say, actually, yeah, I'm worthy of this and it's mine. This is mine. Of course it's mine. It's my time. It's for me. Staying in that position of I shouldn't do this, I don't deserve it, I don't know how that gets you closer to where you want to be. Because the goal is to get to where you want to be. Well, okay, sure. But is that what you want it to do? Is the imposter syndrome because you want it to be a software engineer and now you are, but you don't feel like you should be? Just clarify that. And if you feel that you're not good enough, just feel good enough. Like it's the same thing. And good enough for who? And good enough for what? Because these questions can be asked to yourself, and often there's a root of where it's derived from. Thank you, Slee Music. Well, that's okay. What's fake? Listen, you can feel that and still be excellent. Yeah, you can feel that and still be excellent. You can feel like it's fake and still just continue. Or you can take that same feeling and say, I'm going to change the words. Instead of saying I'm feeling like this is fake to I'm right where I need to be. Yeah, this feels good to me. And the dialogue just changes. Maybe I have had that more. It was more of just resistance of myself. I won't claim, because words are important, and I won't claim imposter syndrome, but I have claimed resistance. Thank you, Sheila, for the follow. Thank you. Thank you. I sound intelligent because I am. Yeah, like what you're seeing is wrong. Yeah, but you can just change that. Instead of what I'm seeing is wrong, you can change that into what I'm seeing is right for me. You actually get to change the programming as the software engineer. You get to change the words that you're saying to yourself. And in regards to when I was about to do my TED Talk, there was just resistance. It wasn't really imposter syndrome, but it was resistance because this is a new space. So because it's new, it's unfamiliar. And when I start saying this out loud, that makes sense. It's new. Okay, what does that mean? It's unfamiliar. Okay, well, if something's new and unfamiliar, then it would make sense in my human brain to go towards it with a bit of apprehension. That's okay. That makes sense. That's exactly what my brain is there to do, keep me safe. And this is new, so my brain is just trying to keep me safe. That's all the human brain is doing. It's trying to keep you safe. So in the sense of imposter syndrome, yeah, it's a bit of rewiring of I am good enough and I deserve this. Yeah, I'm just going to go forward with that instead of I'm not doing this right. Everyone's going to find out I'm a fraud. I've never been able to do this. How did I get so far doing this? Start changing that dialogue within yourself. What's up, Michael? Start changing that dialogue within yourself because you're speaking these words to you. And maybe it's, as we started with this talk, maybe it's the past version of you. Maybe it is that scared 15-year-old or 16-year-old that went on stage and got booed. I don't know what it is. But you have it within you to feel worthy and feel seen and feel accepting of what you are now. Yeah, that could be it. And goals are always changing. Listen, there is no... The finish line is there until there's the next one. So even that is a part of it. My goals are always changing. They're always changing. What's up, Naya? Once I finished TED, that was a goal, but then there's another one immediately. So it just seems that, number one, relax. It seems like you're doing just fine. If you don't have a clear outlined goal, that's okay. There will become a point where clarity will come and you will be able to define exactly what it is for the end game. And it'll come when it comes, but you're aware of it. I would say you're already there because you're aware. If you're aware, okay, well, my goals aren't clear. Okay, so let me finalize some goals. Let me set some goals just for the end of the week or the end of the month or the end of the year. Or let me just imagine what I would want. Because goals can be rigid. Everyone does it differently. I allow myself to kind of change things because I believe the journey is the goal, not the goal is the goal. What you learn in process, how you grow in the process, what you release from yourself that no longer serves you is a part of the process, and analyzing that journey is a part of the goal. So that being that rigid, thank you, V. Avrina, for sharing the live, is a part of it. at times we're really hard on ourselves, and that could be okay to be very rigid with yourself. But if it's not serving you, if it's actually keeping you from accomplishing, then that may not be the way for you in this goal or at this time. And depending on the goal, you can always shift. You can shift your method of getting there, the method of achieving, or even if you still want to do it. Well, I don't know. I've learned a language. I think it's not really frustration. It just comes down to lack of competency. If you don't feel competent, you will feel frustrated, especially with communication. If you've been studying a language for 10 years, let's say you've been studying Spanish for 10 years, and you go to Colombia and you cannot order a hamburger, that's going to cause frustration. But what is the imagined goal as a person who's learned another language? What is the imagined goal? To be completely fluent, or just to be able to get around and have conversation when traveling? There's a difference. If I'm in any French-speaking country, I can get anywhere. I can travel. I can speak. I can communicate. But if there's a medical emergency on the plane, my language skills may not be able to tell another medical professional he has low blood pressure, his heart has stopped, he may need, it depends. It really depends. But, okay, well then do that. Just start watching the movies in a foreign language. Start reading books in another language. Start befriending people on social media who have that language and write to them. I've done all of this, but if you don't do it, you're going to be frustrated because you never are doing it. You can't talk about it, you got to be about it. There's a point where it has to come to actually getting there. So if it's a lifelong goal, then allow your whole life to be the journey to getting there. But if there's a time frame, then do what it takes to get there. Here's another thing. You either do or you don't. There is no in between. And I am a stickler on this because, but do it daily. It's not doing it. I'm someone who's multilingual. I do it daily. I listen to it daily. I still now today will read something in French or in Spanish or in Portuguese. I have creators that I follow that speak the languages that I am still improving on. But if I say this and I only do it once every 6 months, this is why you will be frustrated. You either do it or you don't. That's it. It's the same thing when I decided to speak professionally. When I said, you know what, I'm doing this. I'm retiring from being a flight attendant. I've had this great life. I've lived around the world. I've learned the languages. I've traveled. I've done everything I wanted to do. I want to try something else. And I'm just going to speak every day until it yields the results that I want. From that moment on, that's all I did. From speaking at Toastmasters, to speaking on TikTok, to speaking on YouTube, to now being the TED speaker. You just make it happen, but you got to make it happen to make it happen. It's not one or the other. You got to do it. And I understand the frustration, especially with language learning, parce que pour moi, apprendre la langue de français, c'est très difficile pour moi. Pour moi, complete immersion, c'est milieu method. See, there are, oui, Merci. J'essaie pour... Oh là 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 là. Je vais prendre pour 20 ans. With language, it was something that I romanticized. I romanticized speaking language, speaking French. And I heard my great grandmother, who is Creole, ma great grand-mère Creole, from Louisiana. Her mother was French and was passing. She was a fair-skinned black woman. Ah, Creole. There's multiple forms of Creole, though, because the Creole is spoken throughout French, Caribbean, as well as other places. However, with French, I lived in France, and I had a French partner for several years. And then when I would be in different West African countries where French is the national language and people don't know English, that's what increased my knowledge, because I had to speak, and I actually know quite a bit. Aside from school, I would just, even in the late 90s and early 2000s, listen to French music, read French publications. I still now will watch French TV shows without English subtitles. They'll always be in French. I have a lot of French friends, and when I'm with them, we'll only speak in French. I lived with French speakers. Again, I lived in Paris. And when I lived in London, I would often go to Mali, Senegal, all of these French countries to visit friends or be with that person at this time. And that's when I would pratiquer le français, because c'est important pour moi. C'est important pour moi. I parle beaucoup les langues. It was always important for me to speak many languages. Even as a speaker, I often say this, I don't care to speak in the US because I see myself as an international speaker. And it also takes a bit more effort to speak to other audiences. Maybe that's something I will do. Let me accomplish, there's 2 other accomplishments. That's something on the back burner. I will do something with learning languages. However, I would say this, the top 3 things to learn a language is, number 1, you have to romanticize it, because it's difficult, but when I mean romanticize it, see it in like a way of the most perfect lover, and see yourself speaking it, and see yourself in that country or with people, or watching a movie and understanding it. When I mean romanticizing it, and this is with everything, yes, ways of self-expression. This is with everything. You have to romanticize it. When I saw myself speaking, I saw myself actually with this short hair, with this type of makeup, with certain elements of how I dressed, and I would romanticize it, and I would visualize it, and I would see it, and I would see myself on the TED stage, and this was years before it actually happened. Then I just started acting as if. It's not the reverse. It doesn't happen and then you just start acting as it. You have to believe it and act as if it is. I would just be so confident in speaking my French that French speakers would be like, wow, your accent is really good, just because I would often be watching their lips and their teeth and their tongue movement as they spoke. And I would actually be memorizing how they said certain things with their accent, because my boyfriend at the time was from the French Caribbean, but he grew up in Paris. Then I lived with a person who was a French speaker from Belgium. Her French was completely different from his. And then I had friends from the French Canada. That French is completely different. And then when I was in French-speaking West Africa, that accent was completely different. So depending on who I was speaking to, I was memorizing different things, but it was just me putting myself in that position and really saying, I can do this, and getting over that fear of not knowing. This is with language and with everything in life. That discomfort of not knowing it is real. I would say, especially with learning a language, it would be frustrating because it's like, oh, I'm going to mess up. I have to think about the words. Swallow that. So what? The point is, you're doing it. And every word that you say is one word closer to being competent and fluent. Let me take this in the course of doing anything in life. Every time you do, every time you try, every time you pretend that you are that thing that you want, or have that goal that you want, or have that relationship that you want, or the money you want, it's already one step closer. So really, pretending as if is being it. Because there's a moment where the two merge. How you're hearing me speak, I used to imagine myself being able to speak this quickly. Très rapide pour moi. Pour moi, parler très rapide, I used to just see myself doing this, and I wasn't. But it gets to the point where I was. Well, I don't, even that, okay, here's the other thing. I think every saying is dumb. Like, well, you know, practice makes perfect. Maybe it does, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Perfection for me isn't what perfection is. It's my idea of perfection. And yes, and truly, I love that, Kiera Jaded, turning every action and word into an embodiment, but actually doing it. When I say don't talk it, be about it, you got to be about it. And I'm someone who does. So I don't want to call people out, but you got to do it. And I started this live speaking about, I don't know if anyone saw the post Rick Ross made about wanting a flight attendant for his jet. And I was a flight attendant for 15 years. So, okay, then don't do it, crypto tracker. Everything you want is not going to come like this. But putting up the reason that, let me ask you this, what's the opposite? If being it is hard, then what's the opposite? The opposite is what you're doing now, which is saying how you can't do it. Then just stop. But if you want to continue, you will get better. Relying on all the things that are stopping you is stopping you. And that's not progressive. If you continue to say it requires consistency even on the days you don't want to do it, then you don't want it bad enough. When you want it bad enough, you'll just do it. Even if it's 5 words a day, even if it's reading one sentence, even if it's listening to one song. It's not about doing it on the days that you don't want to do it. You do it because you have to do it. That's it. There is no, well, I want to do it today. That kick rocks with that. You won't get it from that. You won't. No, I'm not, no. Yeah, and it's not the being that's hard. It's understanding and accepting and believing it. Absolutely. It's the feeling. There was a moment where I wouldn't even have been on live. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want people to know that this was my goal, to be a professional speaker, to motivate, to inspire. I was afraid that people would see me and judge me. But I got to a point where I said, okay, but so what? So what? How about Maybe people are saying, wow, that's amazing that she's doing that. That's so amazing. That's inspiring. Maybe that's it. Or maybe it doesn't even matter because it's what I want. So the opinion and thought of someone else that I don't even know and that could or could not be true is stopping me from what I want. That's it. You either do it or you don't. For you to say why you can't do it, why it's hard, why you don't feel like doing it, then give up. Then give up. But if you want it, then do it. There is no other way. There just isn't. And that's just, that was a great greeting. No, it wasn't. You were being truthful, and now you're trying to spin it. But whatever you want is going to challenge you. That's why you want it. Thank you. This is why I'm great at what I do. Do you see? This is why I do what I do. What's up, all caps? This is why I do what I do. But if you want it, get easy out of your vocabulary and get hard out of your vocabulary. Just acquire it. Because if you only want to do it when it's easy, forget about it. If you don't want to do it because it's hard, forget about it. You can't have it both ways. But if you want it, there's a reason why you want it. And if you want it that bad, there may be a version of you that already has it. And it's saying, come on, we're waiting. Come on, you got it. Come on, keep going. That's it. That's it. But the moment you come onto my live and say, it's hard, I can't, this is meant to inspire. Having the thought and saying, I won't do it because it's hard, you're not understanding that that is all that's keeping you from what you want. Your idea of what's hard. I like doing what's hard. I'm built for it. I am a beast. I am a beast. For me to be able to, what motivated me, this is my gift, one of my gifts. I have many gifts, but I believe this gift inspires others. And I got to a point where I've done, like, you name it. If it's like going to the Grammys, going to this award show, skydiving, running a marathon, living abroad, learning a language, traveling to all these countries, I've already done it. I've already done it. Miss Frankie D, what's up? Yes, these girls are moisturized, baby. However, I got to a point where I said, and this was during COVID, my voice seems to resonate. If I could inspire someone, I think that has more weight than going to Paris Fashion Week or London Fashion Week or New York Fashion Week or being by an artist that sold 100 million records. So what? I did that, but I was only doing that to validate me. I can validate me through my voice. I can build a brand with my voice. I can build something that's lasting and that's purposeful and that's meaningful and that may just add inspiration to people in their day. And I think that that's valid. That's what I'm doing. And I'm not going to stop until I accomplish this. That's it. That's why I chose to go on this path. Yes. And I completely agree. Boxing and labeling yourself. Thank you. It's actually a jumpsuit, A-Hearts. It's this jumpsuit that I got while I was in Nigeria at my old flatmate's, what's up, Zach Black? Wedding at Lekki Market the last time I was in Lagos. I often say this. You get to label me. I don't. I'm Hope. How you label me as woman, American, whatever, it doesn't mean anything because I'm just Hope. I appreciate you. Thank you, A Hearts. Thank you. Um, oh, I've done everything. I don't label good or bad, baby. It's all an experience. And I've done a lot, okay? I've done a lot. I live. So when people say, well, I wouldn't do this, I don't know what you should do. There may be something that you learn from it. So do it. Do it. As I said, what is today? The 15th. My birthday is in 11 days. I really live every day like it's my birthday. I live like, I do really live like this is it. And when I speak, the magnetism and the energy in my voice is truly because Youth the King, have you even followed? If you haven't followed me and you come into all my lives, what is we doing? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I was actually thinking, where am I going to go for my birthday? I'm always in a different place, usually a different country. And I have some ideas, but we'll see. So I want to do something meaningful. I don't care about clocking into somewhere just to say, this is a good job. I make enough to retire. No, that was never my outlook. My outlook was never to do something to retire. My outlook was I do something until I've reached mastery, and then I will get to a point where I'll know why I'm here. I'll know why I'm here. Thank you for the follow, Marcus. Yeah, and wait a minute. I show up every day, okay? I'm showing up for life. Do you hear me? I show up for life every day. Every day. Every day. There will be never a time, if you ever saw me in person, that I wouldn't be appearing like this, because life is great. I have to walk in this way, right? I walk in this way because, thank you, Zach Black, for the heart me. I'm about this. I'm about this. Every day when I go work out or do my sexy walk, I do my sexy walks or whatever it is, it's all because this is purposeful. Thank you for the rose, Zach Black. This is purposeful. And to be a speaker, I know how my voice reverberates. I'm meticulous about what I say. I'm meticulous about how I say things. I'm meticulous because there's people... Using your voice, especially when you know how to use it, can be one of the most powerful tools in the world. And there's people who wields that power, maybe for ways that aren't building or constructive. When I chose to use my voice to be constructive, I understood the power that a voice has. Because people don't know what to listen to. They listen to all sorts of things. They listen to all sorts of things. But again, as I said, I'm about it. And I will push you because it's worth it. It is worth it if you want to learn that language. Everything that I learned from learning a language is beyond just the language. It's all. It's all. It's all. And research is just, sure, I read a lot, but what's research? Research is me actually doing it. So for me, my research is the personal experience. I'm not speaking about how AI is going to change the face of customer service in the next 25 years. When I speak, I am able to pull you in by just how I generate what I say. And you're going to believe me. You're going to believe me. There's so much, and also you, the King, there's some things that will be announced shortly that I am excited about. However, to show up authentic means to have the courage for the world to see you. What's up, Tree? Thank you for the follow, Christian Empowers. Take the courage for the world to see you. Take that courage and allow what's for you, the love that's for you, the people that are for you, the path that is for you to come to you. Those who aren't for you, it's not about them. The reminder that life is about you. And I understand how that may sound selfish. It's supposed to be. It's oneself. But I say that in the sense of this experience is beautiful when you develop the courage to make it for you. And as you, the King, has said, there's a energy with my words. There's a cadence with my words. There's something that you feel because it comes from a true, honest, authentic space. It comes from experience, and it comes from a space of, if my words can allow just a perspective shift where you up your belief in you, I've done what I've came to do. I've done what I've came to do. And that's really my goal. I write every single day. I have to. I journal every single day. I have a lot of thoughts that I get out. Well, how to do what, Tree? Tell me. How to do what? Just add clarity to that. So maybe I can help with that. How to do what? Positive energy? You are just inherent positive energy. It is you. Now, you may be in a space of learning that it is you. It's always been you. When I close my lives with be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love, I do believe there's an energy that we all possess. Now, when I say it's the lesson that we're learning, there's something in it. Because I think we're always going back to ourselves. This experience, we're learning about ourselves. You don't control anxiety. Anxiety is nothing that you want to control. Anxiety is teaching you something as well. To empower yourself is to add power to yourself, to be the power for yourself. So even the words you're using can be that. For you to control anxiety, maybe for you to learn why the anxiety wants to control you. Because you're either controlled or you're controlling something. Why do you want to control it? Maybe the anxiety is just telling you something about yourself. Maybe it's wanting to have a hug. I don't know. I often think when we sit in silence with ourselves, we know. Fear is okay. That's a part of it. But so what? What does it mean? What does fear mean to you? I feel fear. I go forward with what I want to do, but what is fear to you, and what is it keeping you from? Let's go deeper into that, because everyone feels fear. My latest accomplishment of walking and speaking on the TED stage, I felt fear. Sure, it's supposed to be there. Falling from what? Is that falling or failing? And what does that even mean? Because it's a constant road. It means that if that's failing, what are you failing? You can feel fear. In fact, I would advise to feel fear, because there's something to learn from it. And if there is a belief that fear is there to prove something negative to you, I would counteract that. I believe fear is showing us that we're actually on the right path. It's both. Anxiety is slightly different from fear, but anxiety, I don't believe that anxiety, the goal is to control anxiety, because it could be that anxiety is controlling you, which is keeping you from something. I don't know. I still believe within ourselves we know why or what. Sometimes this is a conversation with oneself, but it may be, there's something. I don't know you personally. However, let me think of when I would feel that. Okay, that's an interesting comparison. Okay. Fear for bodily harm, sure. Anxiety from public speaking. Public speaking is the number one fear. Most people would rather jump in a ocean with, thank you, the seventh trumpet. I appreciate you. They would jump in the ocean with sharks than speak publicly. And yes, you can feel fear and anxiety everywhere. However, why and what is it keeping you from? What's up, Nikki Saldu? I saw some of your content. You are a fantastic hairstylist. Love rise above love. Thank you for the likes. Let's talk about it. Fear, fear, fear. Let me think about fear. You know, the fear I felt, which would be, I love that. I love your name. Love rise above all. The fear I felt when the captain called me and said we have to make an emergency landing because the left engine is failing was a pretty intense fear. But it was a fear of several things. It was the fear of, okay, I thought I was living. There was more in life that I wanted to do, and I'm okay if this is how it ends. The fear of, I don't get to tell people that I love them before this is done. The fear of, this is how it's going to end. Okay, well, it may be pretty quick. The fear of, I'm going to feel the fear of everyone else on this plane as it's going down. Like, I was able to label all of the different types of fear And and this is after the fact, but none of those feelings froze me. It was like, okay, I can accept this. Um, Fear is a beautiful way, has can be a lesson for us. Um, yeah, well, public speaking, there's several methods. There's several ways that it's frightening to others. First of all, you're on a stage, which means all eyes are on you. If you are uncomfortable with your appearance, your anxiety jumps. If you're speaking in English and that's not your first language and you have a lack of confidence in that area, your anxiety will jump. If you don't know your information well, your anxiety will jump. If there's several different areas. However, there is a space of saying all this is true and I'm going to go. All of this is true. All of this. I look weird. I talk weird. I don't know the information, and that's okay. I'm going. There's just that. I think that's one of my special abilities because I can accept all of that and say, oh, okay, let's go. That's it. Are you asking me, crypto tracker? Because if so, no. I have no fear of being seen. I have no fear of being seen as boring on stage because that's never going to happen. I have no fear of a desire to be funny. I'm naturally funny. I have no fear of a desire to be like, not here. All right. Here's the biggest difference. I don't think about any of that. That is your insecurity. And this is oftentimes people will place their insecurities on you. None of those things ever come into my mind. I know I'm great at speaking. I know I am going to be well received. I know all of this. So I'm not thinking, are they going to like me? Are they going to laugh at me? Is this going to be? That's your insecurity. And knowing that is a beautiful launch point. Yeah. Here's the other thing. I say this because this is how it all started. I came from two people that really poured into me. Two people that really poured into me. And just my family allowed me the space to blossom into this. So I don't really care if anyone else likes me. I have a lovely mom and dad and some sisters that like me, and I like me. So anyone else is a bonus. But I'm not seeking for someone to like me. I like me. I know what's important. So anyone else's thought of me actually doesn't affect me. Do you see how that works? This is why I say it comes down to you. It comes down to you. If I'm constantly wanting others to like me, to like what I say, to find me funny, to find me attractive, to find me engaging, I will constantly think about that when I'm speaking. I don't. That is your thought of you. I've eliminated that. That's called confidence. I was voted the funniest, like, class clown in my middle school and high school. No, I think in high school I was voted something, but I was class clown, one of those. All of that is true. However, I don't care about any of that. If I stepped onto stage, any stage, and thought, I hope they like me, That's going to come out in how I speak. I also saw this throughout life. My father spoke. All of the men in my family have these beautiful voices, and we're very confident. All of the women in my family, from my sisters to my mother to my grandmothers to my aunts, always had confidence when they spoke. They never said, "I don't think people are going to like me, but I have to go speak." I never heard that. So it was just assumed that they knew what they were doing and they liked what they were doing and they believed what they were doing. You can't have it both ways. This is why you come to my page, because you can fake it till you make it, but there is no making it. You just become it. You just believe you're it. I just know I'm it. I just know I'm a great speaker. I have positioned myself to be that speaker. Outside of this, I don't speak that much. I read a lot. I don't watch too much television. I like doing things that inspire me, but outside of that, it's all building me and my voice. I'm not around people that say, "You're not great." I'm around people that say, "Yeah, you're all right." And I tell myself this: if you are constantly saying, "I'm not great, I don't fit," if you're still saying how you hate public speaking, that was high school. How old are you, crypto tracker? You could just say that happened and I am a great speaker. I don't care. Maybe, but I could also be inspiring to someone who lacks confidence. 32, that means you've left school 18 years ago. No, less than that. I was thinking 18 and 18 equals 36. So let's say you left school 14 years ago. Whatever happened in high school does not matter. Thank you for the follow, Jaya Barcelona. Yeah, Kiara, I'm speaking to you. My goal when I got into the space of speaking was to speak towards young women. If you're intimidated by me, you probably would either. Most people who are intimidated by me want to be by me. They just want to. They don't know how this works. They don't know how I have just the confidence and talk with such energy. I often find it's the opposite. But it's a whole different life. Yeah, and I'm alive. You got that right, Tree. However, I don't even care what happened an hour ago. What I say now is what is. And I had just made a post about that. You are relying on an old version of you. High school was 14 years ago. 14 years. You are in school for what, 12 years? You've basically gone a whole school cycle, K through 12. And you're saying that's why I hate it. What does that have to do with now? You can just start saying, actually, I'm going to like speaking in public. Actually, I know I was a class clown in high school, but that's just because that was how I was showing up. I was uncomfortable. It was puberty. That has nothing to do with you now. It has nothing to do with you now. Yeah, I was class clown. I was rated that, and I think I was voted like most likely to become president. I don't know. I don't care about that. Everyone from my high school has gained like 150 pounds. I'm not concentrating on that. And it's not even an irrational fear. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And I saw someone, yes, there is a lot to learn from me. There is. Knowledge and confidence. However, you can just be it. You can just wake up one day and say, okay, yeah, I'm the smartest person in the world, and just operate like you are. Exactly. That was definitely me. That was definitely me. And because I was school wasn't difficult. I easily had good grades without trying, and I was often teacher's pet, like the favorite student. I just could get away with a lot of stuff. But what were we saying? I know a person who she would just say, yeah, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. I, she just operated as that. Now, other people didn't think that she was genuine in that, but that's just how she saw herself. If you're still seeing yourself in some outdated way, stop. Just stop. Well, that's true. That's true. I don't know. That clown can be taken so many different ways. However, you actually have the ability to craft a different you. And it starts with, as I said, seeing yourself differently. Just romanticizing that idea. Just romanticizing. Look at your mama. Why is she dressing you as a clown? Well, you were one. You couldn't even say, Mom, don't dress me up like this. All of this starts with a thought. I am. That will be coming soon. I'm still formulating the exact ways to help with confidence. But thank you, Jaya Barcelona. My link in bio, you can sign up for the newsletter so I can send you when these things are starting. Youth decaying, a grand gesture. It's not that easy. It takes a grand gesture. A grand gesture. I will. Thank you. Yeah, but I'm confident because listen, I don't actually care. I I can be seen as a complete lunatic, and that's okay. That's okay for me. That's not a grand gesture, Youth the King. And 6 roses, 28 is minimum. Remember this, girls, 28 roses. I can laugh at myself. However, it's me. I take myself seriously, I guess. Then I don't take myself seriously. You just change it in the moment. Okay, all right. Well, you found one now. I can be a real, listen, even that, I just won't label myself as that. I don't have to label myself as depressed. If I'm sad, I understand that. And I can feel that sense of sadness or whatever I'm feeling. However, thank you for the hand hearts. I am aware how to shift myself into a better mindset. Right? So when I speak of this all coming back to you, it comes back to you. I can tell you, believe in yourself and be confident, but if you don't actually feel it, then it's not real for you. It's not real for you. It's about shifting your mind. You can be depressed and say, I'm depressed and I'm still beautiful and I'm still successful and things are still going well for me. All it takes is just saying it. The more you say it, you actually start to believe it. But when you constantly say, I'm depressed, ain't nobody like me. Somebody kicked me in the head when I was 6. Somebody took my basketball the last time when I went to go play basketball. Nobody liked my shoes. Somebody took my shirt. I ain't never get the right popsicle. I ain't never get the last piece of pizza. Nobody ever calls my phone. If you're constantly saying that, that probably isn't going to put you in a space of empowerment. Okay? Okay? There was a time where I was, here's the thing, it's you, and you are great, regardless if you believe it or not. The key is to start to believe it, to understand that regardless of what happens, you can still feel good in your body. You can still feel something about you. You can still feel, yeah, today might not have worked out, but tomorrow will, and I'm going to go have a popsicle. And today can still be great. And I'm still healthy. And there's still great things for me. And I'm worthy of it. And great things are coming for me. And they don't deserve me because I am great. And I'm going to hug myself and say, geez, Hope, you are fantastic. That's it. That's it. That is the secret. That is the secret. And then you put on some red lipstick, and then you paint your nails red. Like, all of these things I do because it enables me to feel my best. Yeah, letting go. But also doing these things that create something good for you. I love to drink water. You'll always see me with a bottle of water. It doesn't matter what happens, I have some clean water. I can drink some water. I can put on a lipstick. Things didn't work out in that way, but they are working out. And that constant thinking of positivity, there may be a system to work on that. I would suggest working on that because I don't want to hear myself telling myself it's hard, I can't do it. I say it's hard and I'm doing it. It's hard and I've figured it out. It's hard and I keep going. Gosh, I hope you're still going and you're doing great. That's how you shift. Instead of saying, I could never learn this, I'm terrible at it, I should quit. No, I want to quit, but I'm not going to quit. In fact, why would I quit? I'm getting better in the second. I'm really good at this. I'm proud of myself for continuing. That's how it starts. You see that shift? Then you look at yourself and say, wow, look how you can just shift. That's how. That's how. That's how. I'm so excited. I know something great is coming for my birthday. I don't know what, but I know something great is coming. And I just started saying this. Maybe it's someone who says, you know what, Hope, what you want for your birthday? You tell me. I'll get you anything. I'll take you anywhere. I just believe it will happen. I know it will happen. I am always just believing and expecting great things to happen to me. Now, I am working as if it's already there. When I come on to speak, this is like me being on a Tony Robbins platform. This is like me doing my speaking engagements. So when I come on to speak, this is why I'm prepared. And I'm speaking for a minimum of 90 minutes. And to me, this is the same as my Hope is Speaking motivational seminars. This is it. So I'm already it. It's already here. It's already for me. Before I did the TED, I would walk around and use my arms and speak and see an audience. Before TED even came, I already knew it. It was already mine. I saw it and I just started working towards it. And this is with anything, with learning a language, with moving. Before I moved to Maui, I would visualize myself going and walking by the beach every day prior to me moving to Hawaii. But it wasn't that I just imagined it and hoped for it to come. I also did the works for it to come. It's all of it. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. So, what have we learned? That old version of you has no bearing on who you are now. Just as I opened this live with several people sending me Rick Ross finding a new flight attendant for his private jet. Thank you, Alex Poole, for the follow, and people sending me that saying you should apply. That isn't me. I haven't flown in 3 years. I've retired from being a flight attendant. That was my career for 15 years. I'm now speaking. Did you see my TED Talk? Do you know what's happening in just a few weeks? No. But just because someone else sees me in an old version of myself doesn't mean that I am that old version of myself. The shift is within me. It's not how people see me, it's within me. People will be convinced on their own time. And if they aren't, that's okay too. I ain't worried about people. This life is about me. And when I say that, Mag, what's up? Why'd you come so late, man? What's up? You missed all the good stuff. When I share that this is about me, it's like when people say, where's your favorite country? Whatever country I'm in at that time, because I'm my favorite. I'm my favorite. I have become my favorite. I can shift back into a positive space. I can say, Hope, that's okay. You can let these tears out and things are still going great. Look what you've accomplished in your life this week, this year, this month. You got to remind yourself that you're constantly accomplishing, regardless of what it is. We're growing, we're changing, we're shifting. But being aware of that and being aware of the power we have to create what we want, to let go of what we don't want, is the superpower. And not caring what these mofos say. A lot of these people are lame. They don't know how to dress. They eat bad food. They don't travel to lovely places. Their nails aren't done. They don't have cool earrings. Their skin ain't smooth. Their mama don't like them. Like, I don't care. It's looking good over here. Excellent, Tree. That's why you're here. This is why this is my magic. Nikki said, it's the truth. People will tell you all sorts of things because they are unhappy. I don't care what you say. Look at y'all. Look at you. And I love you, but get away from here. Kick rocks. I don't know. Hope is doing well. Hope has seen her whole life journey unfold to what it is. And she will keep letting it unfold because it's me. And I know I'm worthy of it. And I won't take anything less than what I see in here. I don't care if you don't see it. I don't care if you don't believe in it. I don't care if you don't think that it's possible. You're not supposed to, because it's for me. And because I have the confidence to know that it's for me, it's time for me to show you what I'm possible of. Because maybe if you see what I'm possible of, you'll be able to see that that same possibility is in you. Because there is no difference. There is no difference. If you watch my TED Talk, my link in bio, or you can just go to YouTube and Google Hope, the emergency landing you need, that's what the speech was about. It's you, it's you, it's you. It's not your parents, it's not where you were born, it's nothing. There's something special and unique about you. And the one unique thing about human beings is we are able to become anything. Now you gotta believe it. If you constantly think, I can't do that, I'm black, or I'm not, then it's already done. But that is a part of the process to understand that's a block that is there to prevent you from the magic, the beauty, and the spectacular nature that is you. That's it, baby. That's why Hope is here with this bottle of water trying to tell you something. Don't you see? I come out here every day saying this. I say the same thing, okay? So, that is the message for today. Thank you for getting the live up to 10 10,000.3 likes. Every day that I speak, it's minimum 10,000 likes. Thank you, Mag, but thank you for everyone in the live, because truly you're seeing a dream come true. You're seeing a dream come true. You are actually watching it in the process. So when I am on a stage, soon to be found out, you will see that step, because all I'm doing is how I'm choosing to live my life. That's it. I'm showing up and doing what essentially I want to do for the rest of my life, to encourage, to share stories, to laugh, to shift you out of that discomfort from the day because someone ran over your foot or cut you off or took the last bowl of cherries at the job or said, nah, you can't have none of this pie. I don't know, but if I can just shift that thought and you can just laugh and say, you know what, I'm going to try, or there's more in me, that is my gift to the world. And I make it look good. I make it look good with Mag, you know I have to say something ridiculous. That is it. I started on this journey and you are watching the becoming to show you this is how you become. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Protect hope at all costs. Yes. Thank you, Eric. And see, this is your time to shine. I keep saying 11 days till my birthday, the 26th. I'll have to, yeah. So anyway, your dream is possible, and it may even just be the dream of not feeling depressed. That means feel the opposite. If you don't feel great about yourself, do something today to feel great. Maybe it's just taking a shower. Maybe it's just putting on your, yay, Sagittarius. Maybe it's just putting on some nice vanilla scented lotion. But do that and see how that just, oh, I feel good about myself. Do it daily. Then start dreaming. When I said I'm going to be a speaker, I really said, what do I want to do next in life? Do I want to be a pop star, which I really thought about because I wanted to get into that space? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? What? Nah, I'm going to use my gift to empower. To still travel all around the world and speak on stages all around the world and allow people to laugh and amplify other voices, because we all have stories to share. And I'm essentially speaking to my 9-year-old self. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it is not. You're the second 26th of November. No, it's not. I don't believe you, Alex. Exactly, Nikki. We're going to have the 26th club. And your dad? Where your daddy at, Tree? Where your daddy at? Tell him there's a club on TikTok called the 26 Club. Tree, tell your daddy the 26 Club needs him to... I'm forming the 26 Club. You're still a Sag. That's really cool. Look at that. But your daddy is in the 26 Club. Form what you want. Bless Toad. Okay. See, look at everyone on the 24th. Look at all these people. Wow. We're going to have to do something. Something has to be done. Just expand your vision of yourself, because what you feel now, who you feel you are now, isn't you. It's just the version that you've molded into, but it's not true and it's not constant. And within time, you can feel different. You can feel better. You can feel empowered. You can feel strong. You can feel magnetic. You can feel something more than what you are currently feeling now. Wow. You guys, you know, I read that if people are born on the same day, they have some past life connection. Like maybe in a prior life, you guys were like mother daughter or something else. That's really cool. Wow. Very cool. Look at all of this. This is why I love my hopefuls. The hopefuls come on and what is that? Please tell it to me in the chat. 1 Corinthians 13:13. My hopefuls, I think we are the best group in the world. I won't even say on TikTok, in the world, because look at just what we have found out about each other in this short time. And I journal this. I say, I am so happy to have an engaging, inspiring, uplifting group of followers, because it's more than that. It's not just that you're a follower, it's an engaging group. We're here for something positive. We laugh, we share jokes, we say, hey, how you doing? When certain people jump into the chat, we have cried together at certain times, and this is beautiful. I'm really proud that we have created such a community, because community is necessary. And when you find your tribe, I always say I find my tribe, I attract my tribe. It helps to develop why we're here. Because sometimes when we don't have our tribe, we're like, what am I doing here? Why don't I feel included or wanted? I feel out of place, until you find what's for you. And this whole live has been about what's for you, how to become. There's another, Amani Van Zant, he says become. He says become. And I really, oh yeah, well that's my sisters. I have a sister named Faith and a sister named Charity. So we are 1 Corinthians 13:13. We're always in a constant state of becoming. And allow yourself to become. You do not have to stay stagnant in what and who you are now. So romanticize, which is that key word. Oh, Trinity love. I love that. Oh, I love that. Because Trinity, I think of the Matrix. And love, I love love. I write that, I journal that as soon as I wake up. I am love, I am loved, I am loving, and I am a lover. Become. Like crypto, you don't have to adhere to the words that you speak of yourself. You can just be different, new, and believe it, and flow in it, and grow into it. Yeah, Cassius, the health inspector, thank you for that. True strength is being able to aggressively handle something without damaging its physical integrity. That's what I do with all the gentlemen in my life. I may handle you aggressively, but I don't damage you physically. Okay, so back on to what I was saying. Okay. I love coming on to live and speaking. Thank you, Cassius, for that. I love who's attracted to my lives. I just appreciate everyone. And I say this almost on every live, because this to me is like, this is the dream. There was times where I was too afraid to come on, and now there's a real community and people who find inspiration, and we are constantly growing and uplifting each other, and that's the community that I sought to build. And it's happening. and I'm happy for it. And I will be wearing a lot of red because you know that's my power color. I'm even growing out my nails. I usually like them short, but I think a longer nail is a different vibe. So, authenticity. I'm just glancing at this because I wrote this down. Authenticity. The definition of authenticity is the quality of being authentic, the quality of being you, the quality of being whatever is you at this moment. Show it. I'm showing my authentic self and it's inspiring someone. But if I was afraid to show it, we wouldn't be here. And that's a testimony in itself. Yes, with growth. With growth. With growth. You can see my dark roots with growth. So I close all of my lives with, first, I've been uploading all of my lives onto my YouTube. Go subscribe to my YouTube. It's the same name, Hope is Speaking. All of my TikTok lives are being uploaded. What's up, Bay? Who's Bay? Howard Sweet? Who's Bay? Am I Bay? You may have to battle some other people out for that title of Bay. My name is Hope, though. Howard Sweet. Subscribe to my YouTube. If you ever want to hear my voice, you can go listen to the lives. I also have some meditations, some affirmations. I knew, Meg, you were going to pop up. I'm posting more content. This is kind of a hint. I'm just dropping little hints. I'm posting all of this before other content is posted to my YouTube. So subscribe because there's changes and there will be new content and more content onto my YouTube. But if you're cleaning, you can listen to all of my lives since I've been going live, all 100 and some of them. And just subscribe to my YouTube because that is another avenue. Thank you, Alex Poole, that I am creating on and will be creating on more. Hard winks. Follow me here. I come on live every day. Now, because I love y'all, I'm starting to be I am going to post when I go live. Now, I won't put it in my link in bio. It will be on my story. So if you check my story, I will 14K. I know, man. I know. They're getting out. Thank you, Mag. Every day in my story, I will share. Usually, I'll try to do it in the morning. Today I gave you like a 2-hour heads up, but I'll do it in the morning to tell you when I'll be coming live. If you don't catch me live, I do post all of my lives onto my Hope is Speaking YouTube channel. But I know I told you I'm crazy, but I'm a good crazy. No one says like Hope she's crazy. They say, oh, yeah, I like Hope. Hope. Yeah, she's crazy. She's a good crazy. That's what they say. So every day I will post what time, Pacific time and Eastern time, I will be coming live. Me too. Thank you, Tree. I know. There you go. You're hopeful, as you should be. So you will know and you can be like, yo, I'm pulling up to Hope's Live because it's the livest place to be. And and I will be here to give another message. But if anyone else, because everyone knows now that I was a flight attendant, please don't send me the Rick Ross wanting a flight attendant for his jet. I haven't flown in 3 years. That career is done for me. That is no longer a part of my life. Don't send it to me. People, I think, feel great about, Hope, this is for you. No, it's not. No, it's not. I haven't flown in 3 years. sending me this. It's time for another young, beautiful, energetic young woman to go. That I've already done that. I've done it to the fullest, okay? So yes, subscribe to my YouTube. My lives are there, as well as other content. Every day in my story, I will be posting when I'm going live, as well as just my little posts. And thank you, Naya, for sending the heartbeat. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And whenever I post content, just put more. Like if you like what I'm posting, put more, because I'm right now just experimenting with confidence content, how to speak content, motivational content, sometimes just funny type of content. If you just put like more, then I know, because stuff is shifting. And I know I was so upset about that, because I had just made that and I was really getting down to this Earth, Wind, and Fire song, and they took the sound out. But, you know, I'm learning. I'm growing. What's on the horizon it's okay. Because everyone's going to be very excited for the announcements. You a cutie? Am I? Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Naya. Thank you. Thank you, Calvin, for the follow. Rapscallions? What's that? What's rapscallions? I don't even know what that is. Is that a scallion that wraps, like a green onion that wraps? Yeah, we got to 14,000 likes. So that is it. As I said, subscribe to YouTube. Let me know what. Oh, is that? Well, I'm going back to the TikTok building, I think in January, so I'll ask them. Thank you. Thank you. I think it fits me too. I appreciate that. So we've learned a lot, we've laughed a lot, we've grown, and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I even look at, like, Naya, I've been seeing a lot of your content has been coming across me on my For You page. And I like seeing just the different, yeah. Especially under just when I post something and it's still uploading, it'll take me to who I'm following and your stuff will come up. So no, it doesn't. No one hates you. Nothing hates you. Don't embody that. So I'm going to go have another sexy walk and then go back to, no, unless lunch is like in some other country, Alpha Wolf. You have to take a different approach. You have to take, thank you. All the gentlemen who are trying to catch my eye, I think, what was the last date? I don't know. I probably flew somewhere for something, but it has to actually catch my attention. And I mean, there's a window because my birthday is within the next 11 days. So there's a window to get my attention, but it has to actually get my attention. Okay. So I close every, that's right, Naya. Every live with be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love. I've gotten a lot of love today. Thank you, Mag. And show up. Exactly. Be the reflection of love. Isn't that beautiful? Show up. I just showed up. You just showed up. You didn't do anything but boop, hopes on. You showed up. That's all it takes. But if you don't show up, how is it supposed to happen? When you don't show up for yourself, when you don't show up for your dream, when you don't show up for just the sake of showing up, that magic can't happen. And when you show up, make it look good. As I said, I'm not for this comfort wearing pajamas and sweats with holes in it and shirts with holes in it. No. We grown and sexy. We looking sexy over here, okay? You can be comfortable and cute, but we ain't just rolling over into the hopefuls looking like who did it and what for. That's what my grandmother and my mom would say. Y'all look like who did it and what for. We ain't doing that, okay? And your authenticity is your superpower. Your authenticity is the superpower. But we won't know until you have the courage to show it. I know all these mamas say that. I'll probably be saying that. Who did it? What for? Not for. What for? It's like F-U-H, not F-O-R. Who did it? What for? We won't know unless you show it. So I will be back tomorrow. I will post when I'm going live in my story. I'm going to post like 2 more times today. And I'm going to make it look good, okay? So make it look good. I love you, hopefuls. Today was a great live. You know what, Tree? You're a worthy addition. You're a worthy addition. Just your feedback was helpful. Naya, Mag. The only one we're missing is I am Frey, because this is one of the original hopefuls. However, it's all working out. I'm sure I'll see her tomorrow. So until then, keep yourself well. Go drink some water. Water, not soda, not some drink with a bunch of sugar. Drink some water. Okay? Your skin will thank you for it. And I will see some water. Yes, yes. Or mineral water, whatever. As long as you drink water. You're here in the U.S., so your water options are limited. Be good, be great, be better than the moment before, and allow it to unfold. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.